Hi everybody, it's Jennifer from Get My CNL, and I'm on here today to show you guys how to make a super cool, easy, at-home materials recipe for Play-Doh. Recipes that I've made in the past have had something in them called cream of tartar, and actually that's a really difficult thing to get right now, and it's something that used to be sold at Bulk Barn, but they've discontinued it. So we've had to come up with a way to make Play-Doh at home using household ingredients without cream of tartar. So I'm here at Get My CNL today to show you this recipe, and so that you guys can gather up some materials at home and you can make it as well. So I really want to say thank you for having us on. We are super excited to do this activity with you today. We're so appreciative for the town of Holyrood for always including us in their everyday activities. So we're really happy to be able to do that. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the recipe first. It actually makes a really cool Play-Doh, and it's actually a really nice Play-Doh. I have one over here that I actually made with a group of children. It must have been a month and a half ago. And we put it in a Ziploc baggie and we just stored it away just because we wanted to see how it would work out. And I just took it out this morning to touch it and to feel it, and it feels awesome. It's still the best Play-Doh ever. So I'm going to teach you guys. So the first thing you need to do, like any good recipe, we have to follow it step by step in order to make sure that everything that we have works the way it's supposed to. Like when you're at home and you're baking a cake, of course, you have to follow the recipe. If you don't do the recipe properly, at the end of it, your cake might not taste the same as it would if you followed the directions. So we're going to follow the directions. So this is my handy dandy recipe. And of course, I don't know it off the top of my head, so I will be following my recipe. So the very first thing you need to do, we have to use our water, and we have a lemon juice. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our ingredients first. Lemon juice looks like this. You can also buy it in a larger bottle, but these are actually really fun. They're from the dollar store, and they look like a little lemon. So if you have this in your fridge, or your moms and dads might have a larger bottle of lemon juice, then you can use that. We have some food coloring. Food coloring is super important because that gives us our fun colors that we want. You need to have flour. Okay, so I have a big tub of flour here. Cooking oil is also on the list. It's not necessary. It just, at the end of it, if your Play-Doh is a little bit too sticky, you can add a little tiny bit of cooking oil, and that just makes it really soft. Baby oil works too if you don't have any cooking oil. You can use baby oil, and that actually smells really nice. It smells like a little baby. And then we have salt. So we use salt as well. And then we need a kettle, so you'll need to ask moms and dads for this part. It's really important that we use a kettle to help us boil the water. The water needs to be nice and hot, so let your moms and dads do this part, but you can absolutely help by measuring out the ingredients, okay? And then you need some measuring cups. So for this activity, we're going to need a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon. You need a 1 cup measuring cup. You can see it just says a 1. Oh, and it says CUP on there, 1 cup. And then we need a 3/4 cup measuring spoon, 3/4. So those are important to get as well, so that way you can properly measure your ingredients. And then I have another little bowl, and I just have this one handy because there's actually something we have to do with the water, a little trick, so I want to show you that as well. So the first thing it says that I need to do according to my recipe is I need to add the water and lemon juice to the kettle, and I boil them. So I'm going to put the water and my lemon juice together in the same bowl, mix them up, and then we're going to put them inside the kettle and boil them together. Okay, and that could be boiling while we're adding the rest of our ingredients. So for the water, you need 3/4 cups of water. So this is my 3/4 cup measuring scoop, 3/4 for fractions. I'm going to go fill this up with water, and I'll pop right back. Okay. So then I need to actually take away 3 tablespoons of water. Okay, so we're going to scoop up 1, 2, 3. And I just poured them out into another bowl just to have the excess. And the reason why we have to take out 3 tablespoons of water is because we need to put in 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So altogether, we need 3¼ cups of water or liquid, and that needs to be the water and the lemon juice. So we take away 3 tablespoons of water, and then we add 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I know it seems probably kind of silly at the beginning to take away the water like that, because we're wondering, why didn't we just put less amount of water in there? But it's actually a little trick. Remember I said I had to teach you that little trick? We actually need to take away 3 tablespoons of water and add 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, okay? So I just put that together in my 3/4 cup measuring scoop. Now this is the part where you need to help get your moms and dads to help, okay? So you can probably pour it in the kettle. I'm sure they wouldn't mind that part. So we're gonna open up our kettle and we're gonna pour that in, okay? And we're gonna let that boil. So I'm an adult, so I can put that on, and I'm gonna press on and let that boil. Okay, so now while that's boiling, we are going to do the other things that we need to do. We're gonna mix together our dry ingredients. So then it says we need to mix together the flour and the salt. So for this recipe, you need 1 cup of flour. So here's my flour. You can hear my kettle boiling. And I have my 1 cup measuring scoop. I'm gonna take my lid off so it's easier. And I'm gonna fill up my 1 cup measuring scoop with the flour. Now every time I put some in, I just give it a little shake, and that helps me level it out. So if your moms and dads are letting you scoop the flour in, maybe they'll let you shake it too, just to level it all out. Woo! And we want it to be nice and level at the top. So as you can see, mine is pretty good in there now. It's okay if you spill a little bit, no biggie. All right, so now I have my 1 cup of flour. So I'm gonna add that to my bowl. So in front of me, I have a really large mixing bowl, and I have a wooden spoon because that's really fun to mix with. So I'm gonna dump that in, into the bowl. All right, and now to this mixture, I need to add my salt. So for the salt, we need 1/4 cup of salt. So let me get my measuring spoons here. Oh, here they are. Snuck away on me. And we're going to do 1/4 cup of salt. Now I'm using my 1/2 cup scoop because I can't find my 1/4 cup scoop. And I'm just going to do half of the 1/2 cup. So, and your moms and dads can help you with this too. So I filled my scoop up halfway. You can probably see that shaded line there. Yep, so that means I just filled it up halfway. So this was a 1/2 cup scoop, and I only want to use a 1/4 cup, so I just filled this up halfway. So I'm gonna dump that in, bloop. But if you guys have a 1/4 cup scoop, you can use that instead. And then you can help your moms and dads by stirring that up, okay? So we're gonna stir up the salt and the flour together, and so it's all nice and mixed. So now I can't even find the salt in here. It's actually like disappeared. You can see inside my bowl, I have my flour and my salt all mixed together, but you can't even see the salt anymore. It looks like it's disappeared. So that means that I did a really great job mixing. So you mix it all up. Okay, let's see what our next step is. It says add the water and your lemon to your mix. So we're gonna do that next. So with your mom's and dad's help, you're going to get them to get the water and lemon juice, and we're gonna pour it in. And we're gonna mix it up. Before we mix it, let's add a color. I'm gonna choose blue for mine, I think, because my daughter's favorite color is blue. So then you can put a couple of drops of blue food coloring or whatever color you want. You can even put some glitter in it this time if you want before you mix. All right, and then we're gonna start mixing. So this is the part you'll have lots of fun with too. And believe it or not, the hot water that was there actually cools down really quickly. So even though it's really hot when your moms and dads pour it in, and I'm sure they'll probably let you stir it up with the spoon, it actually cools down pretty fast. Because once it hits those dry ingredients, it starts to cool right away. And mine is already cooling down enough that I can touch it. So when it cools down enough that you can touch it, then you can get your hands in there. And I don't know if any of you have ever made bread at home, but when you make bread at home, it turns into like a big lumpy dough, and you have to knead it. And kneading means you put your hands into the bowl and you push your knuckles down like this and you knead it, just like as if you're making flour or bread at home. You see my little helper skipping off behind me? We're really busy at Get Messy trying to get some things ready for all the boys and girls to be able to do at home while schools are closed. And there's not a whole lot to do outside with the weather not great yet. So it's really important that we get rid of all of the dry ingredients in our bowl. So this is a really fun part. And actually the Play-Doh is really warm now, so it actually feels kind of cool in my hands. It's not hot, so it's not burning my fingers, but it just feels nice. Like when you get a nice blanket out of the dryer on cold days and you take a blankie out and your mommy comes and throws it on top of you and you cuddle in with it and it just feels so cozy. That's the way the Play-Doh feels to me right now. Now I didn't put a whole lot of blue in mine just because food coloring dyes your hands too, so even if you have some gloves at home, might be a good idea to put them on so it doesn't stain your fingers. But I mean, we don't have anywhere to go, hey, so it doesn't matter if we get a bit of stain on our fingers. So I'm just taking my ball of Play-Doh. As you can see, it's a full ball now. And I'm kind of going around the inside of my bowl like this, and I'm scooping up all the extra dry stuff that's still in there because I want to use every peck of it. I don't want to leave any dry ingredients in the bowl. I'm taking it all out because I want the most Play-Doh that I can have. And then I'm going to keep squishing it through my fingers. Now the part that I told you about the oil, like I don't think I need to use any oil right now because it's actually really nice. And you'll know that too when you start doing it. If you feel like when you take your hands up you have it stuck out, look at my hands. They're almost fully dry. There's hardly anything sticking to them because the Play-Doh is super good. But if you do find that your hands are really super sticky, your moms and dads can put a little tiny bit of oil on your hands or baby oil. Just drop it on and rub your hands together right nice like that and then pick up your Play-Doh. And then you'll feel it really soft in your hands. So it's super cool. And look, it's actually amazing stuff. Like it's so nice. It's probably the best Play-Doh that I've ever made. And you can make it with all the household ingredients that you have at home. So just to recap what ingredients you need if you weren't sure. You need flour, you need salt, you need lemon juice, and you need water. Super, super easy. And then you can make Play-Doh too. So I hope that you enjoyed our video on making Play-Doh. I hope that you all go home and make your own Play-Doh. And then you can use all kinds of cutters, cookie cutters or Play-Doh cutters, rolling pins. Toothpicks always make fun designs in Play-Doh. You can use any kind of tools that you have at home. If you don't have Play-Doh cutters or Play-Doh rollers, just ask your moms and dads. There might be something that they have at home that you can use to use for cutting. So maybe you can use a fork, makes really fun designs in Play-Doh. Popsicle sticks you can use to cut up Play-Doh, really anything. And I want to see all your Play-Doh that you've made. Please, when you get a chance to make it, tag me in it. Tag Jennifer at Get Messy NL and say, look Jennifer, we made your Play-Doh too. And tell me how much fun you had. So everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. I want you all to stay safe. Let's get through this coronavirus together. And I'm so happy to be here. Like I said, thank you so much for having me. And we got this. Good job, guys. Thanks. Bye.